So one minutism from the Rebbe for today. So the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, was one time asked, what's greater, loving your fellow friend or loving God? To which he responded, loving your fellow friend. Because when you love your fellow friend, you're loving that which your lover loves. And he another time expounded that what this means is, when you love your fellow friend, you're actually having a vessel to be able to love God properly. Now, what is that understanding in that? Why, when you love your friend, are you loving God? So the explanation is, because the Alter Rebbe explains in Tanya, that when you're loving another friend, if you want it to be for real, it can't be just because of his body. Because if you're looking at the bodies, my body and his body are totally separate. So how can I fully love him? We're two different people. But therefore, you're loving him for a fellow has to be because of your soul. You realize that you have a soul, and he has a soul. And that comes from the same source above. You both come from God himself. And therefore, in the source, you're both one, you have the same Father. Therefore, over here, not two different people, you're really one person. Therefore, you have to love him just like you love yourself. And this is why the Gemara says that loving your fellow friend is the completion of the entire Torah. It's equal to the entire Torah. Simply, it's not understood. I understand that that's the foundation for all the mitzvahs between man and his friend. But how is that the entire Torah of the mitzvahs between a man and God? But based on the explanation we just said, it's understood. Because the whole point of loving your fellow friend is the fact that you realize the internal part. You realize the fact that there's a soul inside, the godliness within it. And that's also the purpose of all Torah mitzvahs, even those between you and God. The point of it is to reveal the godliness within everything in the world. Because the whole purpose of Torah mitzvahs is to elevate the world, to reveal the godliness within. So when you're loving your fellow friend, you're realizing the inner value of him. You're also realizing the inner value of everything in the world, and that's the way to elevate the entire world. And this is also why you have to help your fellow friend, not only in physicality, also in spirituality. If you see your friend struggling and serving God, help him out, lift him up, because the whole thing is about his soul, lifting him up and realizing the true value that he has, and you're able to inherit the entire world. L'chaim, l'chaim.